come on in, come on in. It's about that time again. We have to talk about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and how this has become Mary Cosby's show. She's just a friend of y'all. And I feel like in every instance, and Bethany Frankel, no matter how you feel about Bethany Frankel, especially these last couple of weeks, no matter how you feel about Bethany Frankel, but she specifically said she understood what Bravo would do, even if she was to come on there as you know, a friend of. They are using Mary Cosby throughout this entire episode. You would think that Mary Cosby is a full-time housewife. Some of you probably really think that she is. No, she's just a friend of. This is why we're not really seeing too much of her personal life, but we are getting so much commentary, so many throwbacks to her, especially in this last episode, which I appreciate. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate. But at the same time, I'm like, she's just a friend of. Y'all should, Mary, how much are they paying you? You should, well, I'm sure just because you're a friend of, don't think that she's making chump change. Don't think that Mary Cosby is making chump change, because Mary Cosby, no matter how we may think that she's weird and she might not really get it, I think Mary Cosby actually understands a lot more and is a lot smarter than we give her credit. Well, I mean, I guess when you run allegedly a cult. Allegedly. We don't know that for sure. But they're staying out of her business. She's navigated a way to be on this show, be on reality TV, and not us talk about the church at all until one of these housewives brings it up. Please understand, she might skate by through this season, not bringing it up or talking about those accusations, but they always get you at some point if you remain on this show. Just saying. Guys, if you're just coming into the live chat, be sure to let me know where you're watching from. Be sure to let me know how you would rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And as always, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And we're almost at 300,000 subscribers. We might be at 300,000 subscribers. I haven't checked. We're at 300,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh, I just realized that. We're at 300,000 subscribers. I had not looked. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yay. We're at 300,000 subscribers. We could not do this without our loyal community that we've built over the last almost 3 years. So shout out to our subscribers. Shout out to our channel members. We appreciate your monthly support. And of course, shout out to our King's Guards. We've had some of the same King's Guards that have been here for a very long time. King's Guards in the live chat, let us know when you became a subscriber, like how many subscribers did we have at that time, and how long you've been a moderator for the channel and where we were in subscribers, if you remember that. Shout out to Diana. I know Diana is not modding right now, but Diana has modded for us for a long time, and I'm sure Diana is somewhere in the bushes. Diana, no, she's held us down. She's definitely been a loyal supporter from behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. So shout out to Diana. Shout out to our past and present mods. We could have not built this Kempire without you guys. So shout out to our subscribers. Like I said, I can't believe this. We have a lot to celebrate on this Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap. We'll do more of a celebration. But if you are a member of the channel, I did post on our community tab asking you how we should celebrate 300,000 subscribers. Be sure to check out that community tab post. Let's get into a countdown and let's get into this Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And you know, I loved season 1 and season 2. Season 3 was such a buzzkill. And if you've been watching the ratings, I think last week's episode was, it had like 400 something thousand live viewers. Keep in mind, a lot more people are watching these shows on Peacock. So Bravo is keeping that in mind. However, I think because they changed the night that Salt Lake City is airing, I also think because there's not a lot of promotion, and I also think because last season was so lackluster that people were just like, I'm done with Salt Lake City, and they're not watching it. But I am, and I'm glad that I am. I'm not completely turned off. I'm not also completely turned on by this season. I like that Mary Cosby's back because she is adding this little element of just unintentional funny that comes out of nowhere. And you're like, oh. But although I do find Mary Cosby funny, I also find Mary Cosby crotchety. Come on. Anyone else? She's definitely a little crotchety. Like, would I want to be around Mary Cosby filming a show? No. Do I like watching her be crotchety on television? Yes. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to be around that crotchety energy. She's like, you know, my surprise thing is that I'm a loner. And I love the fact that the editors segue to all the moments where she proves like, no, we know, Mary Cosby, that you are a loner. Okay, so this recap is going to be a little bit different. Okay, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to go through every scene. I'm kind of tired of doing that, at least for this episode. I'm not going to go through every scene. I'm just going to share my thoughts about the individuals involved. But before I do that, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat. And be sure to vote in our live chat poll. But if you're watching on Facebook, or Twitch, or Twitter, be sure to like, share. Sharing is caring. That's how we've built this community of 300,000 subscribers. Come on. Okay, enough of that. Enough of that. Focus, y'all. Okay, I talked already a lot about Mary Cosby's, but I will revisit that in just a second. Last week's episode ended with the ladies arriving at Trixie Motel, which is, first of all, motels, you know, normally aren't, you know, they're not the best. But this motel, curated by Trixie, gorgeous, very pink. It wouldn't be my aesthetic, but I appreciate it. I would enjoy a weekend there. I think it looks gorgeous. And as you already know, Whitney already knows Trixie. So Whitney decided to be a producer this season and bring Angie K to this function that Meredith did not invite her. So Meredith and the other ladies arrive, and then they find out that Whitney's already there and she invited Angie. Meredith does not see it for Angie, and she is just like, why would you do this? Why would you? It's so rude. That's a terrible Meredith. Meredith, I can't slur my words the way that you do. You can leave. I need to get the soundbite of that. Next time. I actually do like it. It was funny. And the editors, how they edited that, perfect. Perfection. All right. Let me just turn on my things. So at the top of this, Meredith is surprised. Apparently, Monica is very surprised. She's like, oh, Monica, I like Monica. Don't get me wrong. I felt like Monica was doing a little much this episode. I felt like Monica was chiming in a little too much. However, I don't agree with Angie K that Monica needs to sort of bow down to Angie K. I brought you into this group. I don't believe that because we know they only used Angie K to introduce Monica. The producers brought her into this group. However, Monica, I felt like you were doing a little much this episode. You kept on chiming in when you see these ladies that have been doing it a long time, not chiming in. That is your segue. However, I do appreciate that you're not just going to sit there and not work for your coin. And maybe in real life, that's who you are. You will chime in. But I felt as if it was doing a little too much this episode. I was just like, okay, Monica, we get it. You know, you're trying to secure your spot here. All right. So, of course, everyone's reacting to the fact that Angie K's here. Whitney brought her here. Even I have to give it to Mary Cosby, because even though Mary Cosby and the producers are using any scene that they can with Mary Cosby is also producing moments. She's also asking questions. So she confronts Whitney. She's like, "Why would you do that? Why did you bring her here? That's rude to Meredith." And of course, Whitney doesn't have an explanation. She's like, "Well, I know I'm Trixie too. We know what you're doing, Whitney. You're not innocent." I will give Whitney credit though this season, but other seasons as well. But I really am enjoying Whitney's confessionals this season. She makes me laugh in her confessionals. And although some of these folks, and I'm not saying this about specifically Whitney, some housewives aren't great housewives, but they're really confessional queens. I don't know if I would give Whitney yet confessional queen, but she's definitely most improved this season. I really am enjoying her confessionals. So we get a lot of different moments with Mary Cosby, including when Mary Cosby is coming over to Whitney and Angie because they're sitting by the pool. Everyone else is, getting themselves situated. And they're like, "Mary, come sit over here with us." And Mary's like, don't do that. Don't call. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember her exact words, but she's like, "Don't call me over to you like that." She's very crotchety. She's very crotchety. Like, I can understand, depending on who's talking to you and how they're talking to you, how you were like, "Excuse me, do not talk to me that way." I don't feel like that's what Angie K was doing. I feel like Angie was like, "Come on, Mary, be a part of the group." Like, she wants to be friendly with Mary. She doesn't have issues with Mary. So she's trying to sort of sidestep her issues with Meredith and become friendly with the rest of the cast. I get what they're doing here. Please understand, a lot of the fights that we're watching has nothing to do with the actual fight and more to do with the show. So I do enjoy Mary in that particular moment. She's like, "Don't call me over like that." So she decides, what's going on with Mary's skin? I have to point out the obvious things. I'm not making fun of it. I just noticed it because it was very obvious. And we've seen this before in other seasons with Mary Cosby. Something's going on. I don't know. Okay. We'll move on. So we get that particular element. As I said before, what we've seen in this, when they're still at the motel, we see these issues happening between Angie K and Meredith. Meredith comes out of her room and walks past the ladies. So there is I forgot what particular thing happened. They were all having a conversation and Monica stepped up to defend Meredith in that particular moment. And Angie felt like that was like, "I brought you into this group." So they end up having a side conversation. Lisa Barlow, Angie K, and I think it was Whitney. And Monica confronts them because she overhears them talking about her. Again, I can appreciate this about Monica. She's just like, I can appreciate Monica because she's not a sucker. She's not coming into this being a sucker. I do feel like she's overcompensating, but that might be her insecurity about the show, about her placement with the ladies. But I appreciate her stepping up, and she confronts Angie K. And Angie K's like, "I don't appreciate the fact that you're telling me." I forgot what her exact words. I'm not. You watched the episode. I can't remember the exact words, but basically, Angie's upset with Monica for Monica not having her back. She expects Monica to have her back the same way that Angie K is up Lisa Barlow's you know what. Angie, I was rooting for you. I'm still kind of rooting for you because I like how you showed up last season, but I don't like how you're playing this situation right now. But I'm going to hold out judgment. But so far, I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. Like, be your own person. All right. Is Mary Cosby the only friend of? She is the only friend of. And she's not even really a friend of. She's an OG. Just saying. And you know they're not going to treat her any other way. All right. Heather. Here's the thing, Heather. And I think I already said this. And this is only episode 3. Heather, every season so far, at least these last couple of seasons, every time you have a beef with someone, I don't understand your beef with Angie K. I get it. You're upset with her with the things that she said from last season, but you're dragging it. I don't feel like Angie K did anything to you to the level that you have an issue with her that is so bad that you guys can't get over it. This is turning into very similar to your issues with Whitney, and it's not helping you this season. I enjoy Heather and her conversations and confessionals. I even enjoy her in the group, but when it comes to her conflicts with people, I don't get your conflict with Angie K. Yes, you went to high school with her. Okay. I don't feel like Angie K is still coming for you. I think that like Angie K is like ready to move on and you're not. And I get it. You have every right not to be ready to move on, but the audience is, because we're not interested in you having beef with Angie K. Angie already has beef with Meredith. Okay. And even that beef, I'm not that invested in or interested in. Because I also don't understand what the beef is. Like, can someone refresh? I watched last season. I know some of you did not even watch last season because you felt like it was boring.
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
I just picture that's what Lisa Barlow would say to me if she was watching this recap. Lisa Barlow, throughout this entire episode, kept on bringing up that $60,000 ring. Look, I do not have a $60,000 anything. I don't have a $60,000 ring, a $60,000 bag. I don't have anything like that, okay? However, if I was to lose something like that, I don't know. I don't know if I would be constantly bringing it up, but obviously it's bothering her, and maybe that's her nervous tick. And we already know, if you know Lisa Barlow from season 1 to who she is now, she's been consistently self-absorbed, consistently shallow, consistently selling that damn tequila that no one can find anywhere. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm just desensitized to Lisa Barlow and I've just accepted Lisa Barlow for who she is. But Monica can't. Monica's just like, this woman keeps bringing up this $60,000 ring. This is Monica's also insecurity about being in this group. And I'm sure someone like Lisa Barlow constantly bringing up her valuables and things like that and material stuff makes her even more insecure. So that's triggering to her. Here comes the psychology degree coming out. I honestly don't think that it really is just about her bringing up the ring. Because Monica, let's be real. If you lost anything of value, you might maybe not necessarily bring it up all the time, but it would be on your mind. It would definitely be on your mind. And Lisa, I don't know. If you had that level of money, do you care if you lost a $60,000 ring? Well, it was actually $58,000. She rounded up. I don't know. Someone in the live chat, anyone has ever lost anything worth $60,000? I know Kim Zodiac lost $60,000 playing gambling, but she keeps on gambling, allegedly. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not relatable to us. However, a lot of you say that you watch these shows for people like Lisa Barlow. So maybe you don't mind her fussing like this. You know, one of the most iconic scenes from the Kardashians was Kim losing her diamond earring in the ocean and her losing her mind. You remember that. She's like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So this is Lisa Barlow having her Kim Kardashian moment. I lost a $60,000 ring somewhere in the toilet. I did love this game that they were playing. Meredith created this sort of like team building game where people that aren't necessarily getting along are going to dress each other. I have to give it to Mary Cosby. That outfit that she chose for Monica, first of all, Monica's a beautiful woman, but the outfit that she chose for Monica, I was like, this looks good. Oh, Mary. Mary's like, maybe I'll choose for both of us. Meredith's outfit for Lisa, and of course Lisa complained the entire time about it. It wasn't Lisa Barlow. I don't get it. I could see Meredith's outfit, her not necessarily wearing that for her everyday life, but definitely if she was to go on a trip to Greece or something. I actually did not mind Angie K's outfit. I actually thought Angie K was probably one of the best dressed of the group. And Heather's outfit for Whitney, I'm very confused. Look, very confused. I love what Whitney felt about it. I forgot what she said that she was dressed up as. It wasn't a cute outfit, but I actually thought, so in my mind, Whitney, do you look at Heather as for me, Heather was giving me Sinbad vibes. She was giving me 90s comedian, black 90s comedian with that leather jacket. But she seemed comfortable in it. It was very fitting for Heather. All right. Who else was there? Was that it? Yeah, I think for me the best dress. I didn't like her hat, but I definitely liked her outfit. Monica. Monica was the best dressed, but Mary dressed her. There's tension in the group, obviously, because Angie's there. Meredith did not plan for Angie to be there, but Whitney brought her. So Angie's there, and Angie's getting on Meredith's nerves. Okay, and Meredith can't hide it. Meredith can't hide it. So they go off to dinner, and this is where they play some more games. They play some more games. They go around the table, and wait, they played one game before they played the prickly, warm and prickly game. I can't remember what. Oh, Monica was right. This is why they needed Monica this season, because you ladies are boring. When they were talking about something that you guys might not know about me, all of it was boring. And and Monica's just like, really? Like, this is what you guys, and she calls them out. She's like, you guys, like, there's nothing here that was interesting or exciting or unknown. Like, one person's journaling. Meredith's like, you didn't know that, I grew up coming to Palm Springs. We're like, and Monica, here's the thing. Monica just dropped the bomb and let the group finally know. She told Heather last week. She tells the group that she slept with her husband's sister's husband for 18 months. Here's the thing. That's great for entertainment purposes, but let's break down the reality of the situation. That's nothing to be very proud about, Monica. I mean, come on, let's call a thing a thing. We love you, Monica. However, when we really examine what happened here, ladies, hide your husbands. Look, I'm just saying, those be the ones. I do like Monica, though. Look, homewrecker and homewrecker. Oh. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. I am the problem, aren't I? But Monica, for me, is doing her job. This is only episode 3, but she is stepping up to the plate. Her and Mary. For me, her and Mary made this episode. And I was actually kind of glad that they were paired up for that whole shopping excursion, because it was kind of nice to see them interact. And Mary's a little awkward. She's socially awkward, but it worked. It vibed. And you could tell that Monica is trying to ingratiate herself with the group, but specifically with Meredith this episode. So they played that game at the dinner table in regards to that. Monica shook the table up and everyone was like, oh, okay. And then they played Whitney's game of, warm and prickly. Never heard of that game, but it was interesting. So you had to turn to the person to your right or left and talk about a warm thing and then a prickly thing. Heather starts them off. Heather's issues with Angie come up. Yeah. And of course, Lisa Barlow has to chime in regards to, like, I don't understand what your issues are with her. No one does, Heather. Like, I get it. At the end of the day, this is a game. You don't have to justify how you feel, but it doesn't make sense to us and no one cares. Let's be honest. Do you care? Look, do you care? Live chat, do you care? Okay. First of all, guys, you're just joining us. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Be sure to check out Tuesday Takeover from yesterday. If you missed it, we had a really good time. We always have a good time with Tuesday Takeover. There was just so much to cover, so much to talk about, from 90 Day Fiance to Below Deck Down Under, Big Brother we talked about yesterday. But we also talked about a lot of different things in pop culture, a lot of divorces, Jeannie Mai and her divorce. We also posted a couple of new videos, so be sure to check that out as well. Go give it a like, go give it a comment, help with the engagement. All right, thank you in advance. So they go around the table some more, and this is where Monica brings up her issues with Lisa, and Lisa constantly bringing up the $60,000 ring. And this is where Lisa's just like, what? Like, Lisa's like, she's just like, what? Like, she didn't expect that for Monica to make an issue about that. And she's like, I really didn't bring it up that often. It's sentimental. And it's $60,000. And Monica's like, I try to help. I put my hand in that tampon thing to help you. Monica, did you put your hand in a tampon where they get the fresh tampons or somewhere where they throw tampons, used tampons? Someone clarify. I've never been in a ladies' room, so I'm trying to understand. Is there a special place for the tampons that are used? And did you put your hand in there? Or was it the clean ones? Because if it was the clean ones, Monica, it really wasn't a big deal. But okay. Okay. Anyways, apparently Mary Cosby was not playing the game, but Mary Cosby was producing moments. Mary Cosby was chiming in. She was adding commentary that was necessary. Okay. But the biggest thing that happens at this table is the fight between Meredith and Angie K. While over in the corner, we have Heather sipping on these what do you call those martinis? Oh, I can't think of it. You know it. I don't care. Like I don't drink. You guys know what she was sipping on. She sipped on it so much she was throwing up by the end of the episode. And she was drunk. She was clearly drunk at that table. Her reactions don't make me laugh. I'm sorry. Her reactions to everyone, Meredith crying, she's like like that to me made me laugh until the end where she's throwing up in a bag and it's stripping. Oh, okay. So in that moment, okay, so Meredith and Angie start going back and forth. Again, I don't understand what the root of their issues even are. Do you? Live chat, what is the root of their real issues? And it's not, for me, it's not anything that these two cannot get over. So we have them going back and forth, and this is where we get the iconic moment of Meredith saying, "You can." For multiple times, Meredith told Angie K to leave. At one point, she got up to the waiter, which they captioned "waiter, not security," to ask them to have Angie K removed. They never did that. I'm sure production was like, "Ignore her. She's drunk." Clearly, Meredith was drunk and slurring her words, husbands, and all this other rumors. I was just like, oh. And I think Meredith is one of those, because I'm not a drinker. I've never been drunk. I don't know what kind of drunk I would be, but I do know people that do and have. And some people are angry drunks. Some people are funny drunks. Some people are sloppy drunks. Some people are the combination. Some people have levels to their drunkenness. I think with Meredith, her drunkenness usually is very emotional. And she gets really emotional and walks away from the table. Lisa goes to check on her. And this is where Meredith like unravels. It's just you want to talk about husbands? And Lisa was like, oh my God, like I'm having flashbacks. I'm being triggered to what you did to me last season. I do want to see Meredith and Lisa mend their relationship. I don't know the possibility of that. I don't know if this is a forced mending for the show or if it's real. Have we seen them out together since filming? I don't know. It would be nice to see them on Watch What Happens Live together to see if it's real. I don't know. We shall see. So Meredith is unhinged and then comes back to the table and going back and forth with Angie. And then all of a sudden she's just bawling. Meredith is drunk. All right. Lisa's just like, let's just not go back. Let's not talk about this because it's not going to end in a good place. So they end up in a Sprinter. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City loves a Sprinter. This is where the mess goes down, in a Sprinter. Okay? Speaking of a Sprinter, I don't know, no segue. Guys, don't forget, not only does Coldus have multiple water bottles that keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours, they come in multiple colors, multiple sizes. They even have different tops now, a bunch of different options for tops. And they have like sheets. They have things for your pets. They even have things to keep you hydrated. They have ice packs. But don't forget to use the discount code Kempire10 for 10% off of your order. More information will be available in the description of this episode. Go get you something. All right. Moving on, because we're going to round out this episode. Don't forget to like the video, guys. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels that are talking about similar topics like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, or pop culture. All right. So they end up leaving. They're in the Sprinter, and Meredith is still very emotional. Monica has her in her bosom. They're bonding. Okay. And apparently Meredith is she's like, I am going through something. I don't want to talk about it right now, but I'm going through something. I appreciate Whitney in this moment because I'm thinking the same thing. And I'm sure some of you in the audience were thinking the same thing. Meredith will make any excuse for her bad behavior or her erratic behavior. So now all of a sudden there's some big thing going on. And shout out to Whitney for the confessional where she came up with multiple weirdo explanations that Meredith may have come up with in order to justify her behavior. But I appreciate Whitney calling Meredith out in this moment. Like, is something really happening with you, your family, that's making you emotional? Or, girl, are you just drunk? And this is where she's just like, I'm not engaging with this. I am not doing this with you. And of course, Mary Cosby. Why didn't they show Mary Cosby? Did they not just have a camera to, you'd only hear Mary Cosby and they're giving us like the subtitles. And Mary Cosby was like, you said I was pornography. Even though Heather was drunk, Heather came up with the right word, predator. It's like, and I get it, Mary Cosby, I get it. This is real beef. I get this beef. I don't get everyone else's beef, but I get Mary Cosby's beef. Whitney, you did say a lot about Mary Cosby when Mary Cosby did not show up for the reunion. So Mary Cosby is coming to show up and handle Whitney. But I appreciate Whitney responding and just like, well, I said what I said. So they're going back and forth. Again, this episode for me, for someone that's a friend of the show, this episode really was all centered around Mary Cosby. Her confessionals were funny. Again, Crotchety Mary, it was just everywhere. A loner, she didn't want to get involved. But here she is on this girls trip. Apparently in next week's episode, that is going to be asked of her. Like, why are you here then? So the episode ends, everyone's going inside, but Heather's like, I can't move. I can't move. They end up, the poor driver is just like, I just want to go home. You saw it on her face. She's like, I just want to go home. I'm sure it's pretty late. They've been out late. She's been waiting on them to finish dinner, stop fighting. And she's like, I just want to go home. I could see it on her face. Heather's like, I can't move. And it's like, can you close the door? She closed the door. She starts throwing up. She wanted to close the door because she knew she was going to throw up. And I think Heather knew if she got up, she was going to throw up. Again, there are moments happening in the show that's about the show and has nothing to do with what they're actually showing us on the show. I think she wanted them to close the door so she could throw up in peace. But poor Whitney's in there and she's like, let me out. Let me out. Because I guess if you see someone throwing up, you want to throw up. So we have that particular moment, and then they show, because Whitney opens the door and they leave the door open, we see Heather puking into this bag, but it's not ending up in the bag. It's coming through the bag. Yuck. Yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. But how would you rate this episode? How would you rate it? I mean, just because of all the Mary comedy, Monica really showing up as a new housewife, Heather being funny in her own way until the end. You know, I never really love a sloppy drunk, but I'm not going to hold this against Heather. You know what I mean? But I thought it was a solid episode. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. I thought it was a solid episode. I feel like everyone's showing up. There's no one for me that's, okay, Angie K. I mean, you're still engaging. You're still having something going on. It's not working for me. It's just not working for me, particularly. But that's me. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Speaking of which, do not forget to subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. And if you're a member of the channel, Senior Royals, you still have access to the unedited live podcast recording. But guys, there is a new podcast episode now available on the Kempire Radio podcast platform. So be sure to check that out. And for those that attended our members only Kempire Radio podcast live, please understand this episode also includes new content. So don't think that, oh, I already was there, I already saw it, I already listened to it. No, there's some new stuff that I added. I think I'm like additional 20 minutes of new stuff that I added because we had some new things to talk about, from Shannon Bedore's DUI, the Nicki Minaj situation. We also had to talk about Brandy. So yeah, I added some new content for those that thought, oh, it's the same thing. No. And of course, members, I did not include callers and some other elements that we talked about there. Look, I work hard. I work hard to make sure that you guys are getting a curated experience. I really do. That is always my intention. I don't want you to feel like it's redundant, like some of these reality shows. Just saying. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just me, but other content creators that are covering similar topics. Don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. We just hit 300,000 subscribers.
We're on appeal for legal reasons.
I pressed the wrong button, but no, come on. Thank you to all of you for doing it. We are going to do something special for we're at 300,000. We're going to celebrate. We're going to continue to celebrate. So thank you guys so much for being such a supportive and understanding community. As I always say, I need to focus on the positive. We get nothing. If you really did the analytics of the amount of positivity that we have on multiple platforms, not just here on YouTube. Some of you just watch me on YouTube. We are creating content on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. You're getting different experiences there, but we've created such a dynamic community of like-minded, but also people that have their own opinions. And we always welcome differing opinions here as long as everyone shares it in a respectful way. Okay, no matter how you feel about these people, we always remind you too, we don't know these people. Be team you, all right? And remember, we're watching and creating feelings about an edited show. But I'm enjoying Real Housewives of Salt Lake City so far this season. I mean, it's only episode 3. Stay tuned. This is like the Mary show going on right now. As always, like the video, subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. I'm going to play some music so we can get out of here, some celebratory music. And I will see you guys in the next recap, which will be Real Housewives of Orange County. We talked a lot about the DUI. We even had the video footage during our Tuesday takeover. So for those that wanted an update in regards to that story, go check the Tuesday takeover. Thank you to Sherry for doing our timestamps yesterday. Go check that out. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.
You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I know. I just want to know. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I know. I just want to know. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life.